The complete guide to playing AtariBlast on your Atari 400 Mini, coming up next. AtariBlast is a 1 megabyte game, and the Atari 400 Mini currently only allows a max memory size of 128K. So how do we play this Paul Lay Harvey Kong Tin vertical and horizontal scrolling mini Amiga Zarjaz blaster on the Atari 400 Mini? I'm going to show that to you right now. The first thing we're going to do is bring up a browser and go to an Atari 8-bit software archive site. This is a preservation site called AtariOnline.pl. Yes, it's a Polish site, and you can set the browser to translate the text if you'd like to read up on some of what the absolute best and brightest are working on, not just in the Atari 8-bit Polish-speaking community, but around the world. Down the page on the left, you'll find a set of alphabetical links called the Game Catalog. This is a place where you'll find Atari 8-bit games preserved in a number of different formats. The format we need to look for is the .car or cartridge format. This format is used to create bank-switched cartridges that will run in 64K, 128K, or even less, and most of them should work fine in the 400 Mini. We need to download the AtariBlast.car image and place it on the USB drive we want to use in the 400 Mini. This is as simple as right-clicking on the file and saving as to the USB. On the USB, I created a car file folder, but you can place it directly in the root of the drive if you want to. Remember that you can only have 256 files per folder when using a USB drive on the 400 Mini, so organizing by subfolders is going to be your best bet. Next, over at the 400 Mini, we need to insert the USB drive into the rear USB-A slot and turn on the console. When the game carousel appears, we want to scroll through the games to the USB drive icon and press the fire button on the CX stick. The USB drive contents will display. Find the AtariBlast CAR file and press the fire button. Press the front left or menu button to configure game options. We're going to select the 130XE for this game, and then press the top button on the CX stick to close the options. Press the right top button or home button to start the game. Voila! The 1 meg AtariBlast game works! This version will also work in 64K, as you will see when I play through it. You can stick around and watch me play AtariBlast, or you can get out your 400 Mini and have a blast yourself.
We were children of the Silicon Revolution, an X generation conscripted to fight the console and home computer wars. A product of an analog 70s childhood, we came of digital age in the 80s, believing we could affect the world 8 bits at a time. Armed with joysticks, full-stroke keyboards, Jolt Cola, and MTV haircuts, we proceeded into the vertical blank. There, we stayed up late at night, devising incantations from D&D rulebooks and beginner's all-purpose symbolic instruction code. Video games were the match, and programming was the fuse, as the infinite possibilities of the digital world exploded into the internet age to come. We are Generation Atari.
Into the vertical blank.
We are the forgotten generation, a misplaced slice of the 20th century when birth rates were as low as expectations for the future. We lived under the threat of constant nuclear annihilation, playing outside, but always inherently knowing the future was indoors. We are the second half of Generation X. We were some of the first to play video games, to program home computers, and record CDs to cassette mixtapes. Our generation was nourished by new wave, imperfect punk rock, and John Hughes movies. We built Web 1.0 from the ground up using our childhood 8-bit and 16-bit programming skills. They call us Gen X. We prefer the vertical blank generation, where magic happens between the lines, because that's where we live, love, and thrive. We are Generation Atari.
Into the vertical blank.
The vertical blank is the space between the last line of the card frame and the first line of the next, where off-screen calculations create a cathode ray tube display. Exists literally between the lines, invisible yet all-seeing, in a void where magic occurs that is never seen, only experienced. The vertical blank is an omniscient force containing the nuances that make our nostalgia a reality. It's the transcendental location that holds our best memories, biggest joys, greatest fears, and our most terrible losses. You've been warned. You can stop this tape now, turn around, for once you've entered, there may be no escape. All the scan lines have been written. It's time to enter the vertical blank.
Into the vertical blank.
Next frame calculated. Prepare to write new data. The blank ending.